Hi everyone, before we start our presentation, just a disclaimer that this presentation contains quotes describing harmful experiences relating to sexual and physical assault, eating disorders, and extreme threats of violence. So imagine that you're a young, vibrant content creator. Your passion is to create music and share your life with the world. However, you discover that someone is impersonating you on Tinder. This might just be another experience for creators worldwide, but for M9, this became a nightmare. For M9, one of the male participants of our study, the situation took a terrifying turn when a man deceived by the impersonator showed up at M9's doorstep and pointed a gun at his head. As M9 recalls, he pointed the gun at my head and started accusing me of lies and betrayal. I was frozen with fear, unable to comprehend how my digital presence had spiraled into a life-threatening situation. This encounter wasn't an isolated event, but a stark reflection of the dangers that content creators in Pakistan face daily. Our study, conducted with 23 content creators across platforms in Pakistan, revealed that M9's experiences are not unique. Many face harassment, violence, and systematic threats as they navigate their digital careers. So, Pakistan ranks second last in gender parity. Women content creators in Pakistan face severe risks, including harassment, assault, and even death, as highlighted by Kandil Baloch's case, who was murdered by her own brother due to her content creation online. These threats often extend offline, thus there's an urgent need to address the security challenges faced by the creators in Pakistan, which actually drives our research today to explore these critical issues and develop tailored protective measures. So content creators as community, they face elevated risks both online and offline, particularly when discussing sensitive topics like politics, religion, and sexuality. Pakistan's diverse sociocultural background, marked by patriarchal and conservative norms, further complicates their experiences. Studying this vulnerable population sheds light on the critical security challenges and helps develop protective measures tailored to their needs. So talking about the research questions of our research investigates the following questions. What does the threat landscape for creators in Pakistan look like? Defense mechanism Pakistani creators implement and rely on? And lastly, what gaps exist in privacy measures and interventions which are needed? Talking about the methodology that we followed, we've recruited 23 content creators across platforms from Pakistan who met two conditions. Number one, they should be Pakistani resident, and number two, they should generate some form of income from their content creation. We conducted semi-structured interviews based on the interview guideline and concluded our interviews when we reached saturation point, after having 12 females, 9 males, and 2 transgenders as our participants. We transcribed our interviews for analysis, and 4 researchers took part in the coding process. We conducted a thematic analysis which helped us identify 5 axial themes, which are negative experiences, concerns, attackers, defense practices, and support mechanism that these content creators in Pakistan have. Now, on your left and on your right, you would see the slide with this graphic, which actually shows the detailed breakdown of the threats that these content creators face, both divided into online and offline threats. The graphic illustrates how online threats can somehow spill over into the offline world, leading to severe consequences for these content creators. The interconnected nature of these threats underscore the need for comprehensive safety measures and support system for creators, especially those dealing with sensitive topics or belonging to marginalized groups. Moving on with the findings, when creators post something that is socially, culturally, or religiously deemed wrong, they often receive hate speech as a result. For example, one female participant said, I remember posting a group picture with my friends, and there were 5 or 6 girls, and there were just 2 guys in the picture. For some reason, I received a lot of backlash on that post. Why are you promoting Western ideals in Pakistan? She is a Western propaganda. Similarly, one content creator shared how their post discussing sexuality led to people slandering them about probably they're an American agent or something. Now moving on, Shanza will elaborate further on the findings.
Thank you, Waleed. So when creators post something online, blackmailing has been reported by most of them. Attackers can sometimes come from within their inner circles, while others are mostly anonymous, and they threaten participants for attention or for personal gain. And sometimes they also threaten that people that you love, as reported by one of our participants. Some participants reported receiving threats of violence through comments and direct messages. Attackers are, again, usually anonymous, although participants sometimes link them to known opponents of themselves. Sometimes threats can also result from hate and canceling campaigns. One participant mentioned that when they talked about religion, they even got rape threats. Talking about impersonation, half of the women creators in our sample were impersonated online. Common platforms are dating platforms and social media platforms. Attackers are unknown and their motives are unclear. And sometimes they deceive their followers into sending them money or extract information from the content creators' family members. Now, a very serious form of impersonation that was experienced by one woman in our sample is synthetic, non-consensual, intimate imagery. Here's what she had to say. I think to me, the most unpleasant experience was the Reddit picture, where someone did something weird on my picture. That was uncomfortable for me, and as it was of a sexual nature. I was 16. Someone sent me a screenshot of the image, I reported it, and it got taken down because I was a minor. We also observed that these technologies, such as deepfakes, generate content that is harder to distinguish from reality, opening the doors to harass victims based on societal norms of decency. Talking about doxing, content creators and the loved one become targets for offline attacks. Stalking behaviors, physical harm, and people surrounding them like family and friends might feel threatened or dishonored. In the context of Pakistan, leakage of personal information such as family details is therefore a severe threat. De-anonymization has led to the murder of women creators, particularly in Pakistan. Unauthorized content use was another prominent concern across participants. It is different from content leakage, as in this case, the content was previously posted on a different public profile, and third-party unauthorized content use leads to financial harm and can also result in physical harm. Our research revealed that threats to content creators often extend beyond the digital realm, leading to severe offline consequences, particularly in regions like Pakistan with weak cultural, social, and legal protections. Online harassment can escalate to physical violence. For example, mentioned by my colleague, a star was murdered by her brother in an honor killing due to her online presence. Moreover, online doxing can lead to offline stalking, psychological distress, and fake profiles causing social isolation, and online death threats resulting in physical confrontations and forced relocations as well. One participant reported receiving threats and phone calls after their personal information was shared online. The lack of effective technical solution underscores the need for platforms to improve their security measures and support mechanisms. Moving on, we'll now discuss how participants in our study coped with various threats that they faced, particularly focusing on their inability to rely on technical defenses when dealing with issues like false reporting and impersonation. For these threats, our participants did not have any defense mechanism at all, as visible in the graph on my left, to help them out of the situation, and it often escalated into greater harms. Many participants struggled with false reporting, and their accounts were taken down, and there was nothing they could do about it. The platform's mechanism for addressing false reporting were often slow and inadequate. Similarly, the technical measure to prevent or quickly address impersonation were lacking, and unfortunately, many participants did not know how to solve this problem. Despite the lack of these technical defenses, many participants displayed remarkable resilience, but that was not enough. They lacked support that could provide practical and emotional assistance. Our research revealed that existing support systems in Pakistan, whether institutional, legal, or community-based, were often inadequate, unavailable, or unresponsive. And surprisingly, in some cases where content creators had political or social power, they were able to get their issues sorted by other means. To conclude our presentation, there are three main points I would like to highlight. Firstly, while the categories of threats faced by content creators in Pakistan include a wide spectrum, the prioritization and consequences of these threats differ significantly. In Pakistan, threats like impersonation can lead to serious offline harms, highlighting the differing risk levels and the need for tailored protection measures, particularly for based on factors which are associated with higher risk. For example, the content topic, the gender, the social background of the creator, and the type of platform and audience on that platform as well. Creators discussing sensitive topics like religion, politics, human rights are at a higher risk in Pakistan, including targeted harassment and threats of violence. And so are female and gender minority creators. Very interestingly, the type of platform and the nature of the audience also played a significant role in the risk levels. Platforms with weaker security measures are more hostile audience and more hostile audiences increase the exposure to threats. Our participants commonly stated that a particular platform is more dangerous than others, but this was based on their own opinion. Lastly, the absence of robust technical protections had severe implications for content creators. This gap left them vulnerable, often without recourse, increasing their exposure to both online and offline harm. These findings highlight the urgent need for better legal frameworks, societal support, and robust online platform policies to protect the content creators from more vulnerable populations like Pakistan. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can ask them or contact any of the authors.